So let's see what we get right here. Can we hit legend? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, so please consider subscribing to the channel if that is of interest to you. And if you're a returning subscriber like William K, thank you for the support. So if you guys did check out my last video, you saw that I was sitting at 2956 rating, and I purposely did not play on Saturday or Sunday because I did not want to hit rank 10 in the Holiday Cup. For content purposes, I felt that it would be better to try and hit rank 10 in the Open Great League instead of the Holiday Cup, with it ending on Monday. So today, Open Great League, and we are going back with the team in which I compiled a 70% win rate at the start of the season with, and that is with, my new favorite Pokemon, Pelipper, Stunfisk, and Defense Deoxys. Now, I did also run this team with Toxicroak in place of Deoxys. However, I find that the Deoxys variant performs a lot better in a lot of more general matchups. So I prefer Deoxys. If you don't have one, you could use Toxicroak in its place. So we do run into a lot of top battlers in this video, and let's see if I can make that final push for legend rank in today's video. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so first battle here, going up against Nathan Jatar, very talented trainer, and we are leading my new favorite Pokemon, Mr. Pelipper, here against a Sableye. So this is not the greatest match for Pelipper, of course. However, we can win in the 2 shields, and that is what I intend to do. So we get that Weather Ball through here. I'm going to shield up this first move, going to be a foul play most likely. Do shield that, and I get to the second Weather Ball, going to throw this. At this point, I expect the Sableye to shield this, take the 1 shield, and probably allow me to win this matchup. Now, the thing is, I could shield here and then farm down the Sableye, so they do switch out, which unfortunately did catch me off guard, so I am going to waste this Weather Ball onto the Skarmory. But now, because it is a Skarmory, I know that I could farm up to the next Weather Ball and then switch out into Stunfisk, so I at least have that Weather Ball stored. So in a lot of ways, it's kind of a similar situation to what should have happened, except that I switched in late with Stunfisk. But because this is such a dominant matchup for Galarian Stunfisk, it's okay to switch out a little bit late. And I do throw the Rock Slide here. I'm totally expecting to get hit by a Brave Bird at some point here, probably now. So I think the play here is to maybe undercharge this, but at the same time, I don't want to undercharge too much, so I end up KOing there. It's lower defense because of the Brave Birds, doesn't really matter. Now, I hope that I get to the Earthquake here. Opponent makes a great switch into Sableye, but I need to get rid of the Sableye anyway, so I'm going to hit all the bubbles here. I need that Sableye gone because of the Deoxys in the back. And now I'm hoping I could at least get to a Rock Slide here. I do. Don't expect the shield to come at this point because it's pretty obvious that I'm not going to get to a second Earthquake. Lets that go through. I bring in the Pelipper before I faint, knowing that I will win CMP here, get this Weather Ball off. It does get the shield, and now he's going to throw immediately because you can't really mud shot down a Pelipper. So we lose the Pelipper here. Now I'm letting the switch timer run here. I need my switch timer to come up because I know that Deoxys doesn't have a great matchup here, and part of my win condition might be to sack swap that Stunfisk at some point here. And I know against the player of this caliber, it's going to be very difficult because they're probably not going to throw as soon as they get to Earthquake. So I'm throwing Rock Slide here because I need that switch timer to come back up. I need to switch out here. It's still not up. Now it finally gets here. I wait 1 extra move because I have a feeling he's going to overcharge. Switch out. Boom. There it is. We catch the beautiful sack swap onto the Stunfisk, which basically wins me the game here. Going to throw this Rock Slide. Could have been CMP tied there with his own Rock Slide maybe. Probably not, I don't know, but either way, I know he was very close to one. Take that game because of the sack, so huge win there. GG's. Next match, House Stark 93, and I think I battled House Stark like 8 times in total, and I'm pretty sure I lost every single match against him, so not looking too good here. We see the Pelipper mirror, and if there's one thing I like, it is Pelipper, so I'm going for the Weather Ball here. You have to build up for the Hurricane to at least pose that threat here, but I bait with the Weather Ball. I do get the shield, and at this point, I don't shield, but you should be shielding here because if it's a Hurricane, I'm pretty much going to get knocked out, and I have to shield the second Weather Ball regardless, so you should be shielding the first move. Now, I decide not to throw here, and he switches out into Melmetal, so I save that energy. I have about 2 Weather Balls ready, and I have a great answer for this. I have Deoxys. So things are looking really good here. Might finally get a big W here up against House Stark. He throws a Rock Slide here. I'm going to let him throw again. And after he throws this, I'm going to overfarm maybe 1 or 2 more counters before throwing the Thunderbolt to get rid of this Melmetal. 1 more Rock Slide would obviously knock me out, so I don't want to take any more chances. Going to throw this Thunderbolt, knocks out the Melmetal. So would expect him to probably come in with the Pelipper. Not sure what his third Pokemon is. He does come with the Pelipper, so he's going to throw right away. I was 1 counter away from the Rock Slide, so this is going to knock me out. And then my own Pelipper has 2 Weather Balls. Now I can't really bring in Stunfisk here because I can't Mud Shot this down, and I don't want to get hit by these Weather Balls. So I'm just going to bring in my own Pelipper, throw the Weather Ball here, which isn't going to KO, so I'm going to be forced to throw my second Weather Ball. I threw the first Weather Ball in case he did choose to shield, but he didn't, so at this point I'm just going to throw the second one, and he chooses to let that go. So now I'm instantly switching into my Stunfisk, and it turns out to be a mirror match, so good thing I switched out immediately here. And now this basically comes down to baiting. I got in the extra Mud Shot there in exchange for this, but he does bait me with Rock Slide, so now I decide to bait in return. I don't think he's going to shield this, to be honest, and he doesn't. So at this point I was regretting it, and now I think my only win condition here is to basically get, like, I got the shield there, which was absolutely huge because I had that 1 Mud Shot extra. Maybe he thought that I got to the Earthquake there. And then I throw this Rock Slide here, CMP. The one time we're having bad IVs on my Stunfisk comes in handy because you could see we CMP tied there. And that Rock Slide damage is going to be the difference in me CMP tying here, most likely again with the Weather Ball. Will this be enough? It is. You could see how clutch that Rock Slide from the Stunfisk was. We finally get a big win against House Stark, and we are looking pretty good so far. We see a Swampert here, very good lead, and if you run into Swampert with this team, you want to see it in the lead. You have to stay in here because you cannot have it aligned with anything else on this team. So I'm definitely going to shield this. Sludge Wave would absolutely destroy me from a Shadow variant of Swampert. Going to throw the Weather Ball here, and we get the shield in return. He switches out now into Skarmory, so this time I switch on to Stunfisk without throwing the Weather Ball, so you can see we did learn from the previous match. So I have the energy stored now on my Pelipper. Now the reason that I switched out immediately into Stunfisk because I didn't want the alignment to get desynced here, so I didn't bother to build extra energy on the Pelipper before switching out this time because I really don't want that Swampert to have any extra play against Stunfisk here. So I just want these switch timers to pretty much sync, and you can see what I'm doing here is I'm trying to stay as close to 100 energy as possible each time. And he brings in the Swampert here. Because I had 100 energy, I'm able to throw this move here, and that's going to buy me a little bit of extra time, which allows me to switch out into my Pelipper, which is going to be able to throw this Weather Ball now, and he lets this go through. So things are looking really good right now. Skarmory comes back in. Now it does have a lot of energy, unfortunately, because I didn't knock it out, and it gets to a second Sky Attack, so I'm forced to burn my last shield here, which isn't great, but I have basically 3 Pokemon now against his last Pokemon with the shield. Happens to be a Cherrim, and you can see here, there's the Go Battle Lag. I have 2 Weather Balls ready, and thank you, Go Battle Lag. I'm not going to be able to throw any of them, not apply any pressure to that final shield, and things just took a turn for the worst here. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to bring in Deoxys, obviously, and this game is starting to look like it might come down to another sack swap. So I'm going to throw the Rock Slide here, definitely expecting the shield to come up at some point from the Cherrim. Comes up now, and we're going to get hit by a beam here. I know the beam is coming, but it's not going to knock me out. I do not think, though, that I could beat this Cherrim to the next move, so I'm going to get as close to Rock Slide as I can. Switch on to Stunfisk. Boom! There it is, the sack. And, you know, maybe this sack wasn't so necessary because we could have probably won this with Stunfisk in the back anyways, but, you know, this guarantees the win by getting that sack. So huge call there. We get the win, and we are off to a 3-0 start here. I did start at 29.56, so a 5-0 might be enough. 2-4-1-6 Rod here. Very, very talented trainer, and probably wants to beat my ass for the last time when I pulled out that win with that triple weak to Stunfisk line. So he switches into Azumarill here to catch the Weather Ball. I even over farmed because I was expecting to switch, and then he caught it anyway, so amazing play on his part. And you can see here I'm staying in with Pelipper. Now the reason I'm staying with Pelipper here is only because I expect him to have Abomasnow in the back with this line. A lot of people run Marowak in the lead, end up having Azumarill and Abomasnow in the back. So if that's the case, I want to line up Deoxys with the Abomasnow, Marowak with the Stunfisk, and my Pelipper on his Azumarill to win. Now, he does take the shield advantage because I had to shield those play roughs, but if the alignment's correct, I should win this. if he has anything else other than Abomasnow, I could be in some trouble. So, gonna throw the Weather Ball here. The fact he brings a Marowak makes me think that he might have Abomasnow possibly, but he could also have something else because Abomasnow might have came in this situation, but I get knocked out there, and I'm going to bring in the Stunfisk here, and I'm going to throw this Rock Slide. So let's see if he chooses to shield this or not. He is choosing to shield this, and he exits with energy. I see the grass, but it's a Meganium. This is not good at all, and at this point, I wish I brought in the Deoxys versus the Azumarill instead, but even then, Pelipper versus Meganium isn't that great. Meganium is pretty hard for this line in general, so I'm in a pretty tough spot here. And you could see we do CMP tie here, which is not good for me because now I'm going to get KO'd. And I'm going to bring in the Stunfisk. If I could beat it to the Rock Slide, I have a chance here. But again, CMP tie, amazing energy, and just energy preservation there and counting on the opponent's end. Really played this well. And I undercharge a little bit to get a bit of extra farm, but it really doesn't matter because he has the move ready. I'm going to lose CMP even if I did have the move, so GG's there. Very well played game, and he definitely deserved that win there. So staying in with Pelipper versus Azumarill in that particular match did not work out in my favor. Sin991-219 here in the next matchup. I believe this is match number 5 of this set. So Pelipper into Marowak again. Another very positive lead for us, and this time they switch out very early into Wigglytuff. So I'm going to throw the Weather Ball here, sort of soften up this Wigglytuff before coming in with the Stunfisk, and Stunfisk has a very good matchup here. And at this point I was thinking if I could get this Earthquake before it throws a move, I'm totally going to do that, and you can see we do that. So I'm going to be able to knock out this Wigglytuff before taking any damage really from it, from say an Ice Beam for example. So I like the position right now. Marowak comes back in, which tells me he might be weak to this Stunfisk in the back. So I'm going to throw the Rock Slide here. Rock Slide's still going to hurt, so we do get a shield there. Of course, Earthquake's going to hurt a lot more. And the opponent's going to throw the move here. Am I going to choose shield? So I'm going to choose to let this go. It's a Bone Club, so I will survive that. And I get off one more Rock Slide here, which is very nice. So let's see. He's probably going to let this one go through. He does. And look to farm me down. So I could have probably switched out here, but I thought maybe I could to the Rock Slide. Poor calculating on my end, so we are going to get hit here by a move. Bone Club or Shadow Bone. I choose to shield it thinking it's Shadow Bone. It is, and here comes the Galarian Stunfisk. So unfortunately I didn't throw early enough, so I'm going to have to shield up this time, but we should have 2 Weather Balls here, and I'm going to look to throw both of them and then switch out into my Deoxys. But I want to switch out to catch a Rock Slide, so this could get a little bit tricky. I don't want to get hit by the Earthquake here, so let's see how I play this. I go for 2 more wing attacks, throw in the Deoxys there, hoping this is a Rock Slide. It should be. I mean, that's, yeah. So we catch the Rock Slide there. That's huge for us. And now Earthquake won't be able to KO, so I should be able to get to this Rock Slide. And we actually beat him to this. This probably won't KO the Stunfisk, but, or no, it didn't. He switched out. And the counter that was going through actually ended up hitting the Marowak, so he didn't get to throw his move that he might have had ready. Take that game. You can see we go up to 29-88 after that set. So next set, all we need is 12 points. AdamTheSpaniard. 4-1 will definitely get us there. 3-2 probably could get us there. We see a Mew lead. This is horrible for us. So again, I'm probably going to stay in this matchup. I'm counting here. This is enough for a Wild Charge, so I'm going to show up first one for sure. And he basically needs to hit me with Wild Charge to win this match. He actually ends up switching out, so I'm going to throw the Hurricane here. And then I would expect to switch out into the Deoxys here, but I'm probably going to farm up a little bit more and try to catch the move. Fortunately, mistimed a little bit. I know this is only going to be an Ice Beam, so I do let it go through. And now I could obviously farm up a little bit more. Another at least 5 bubbles worth of energy. Now I bring in the Deoxys. And a little bit poorly timed there, so he is going to get the heavier hitting move here. Could be Hydro Pump. Fortunately, it's only Play Rough, so that's a lot better. And I'm going to, again, count. Throw this Rock Slide before he gets to the move. And this should be enough to knock out the Azumarill. And I totally expect the Mew to come back in. We are down a shield, so this isn't a great position to be in, but we do get this Rock Slide, which is really nice. And we get a shield as well, so that's really, really nice. And now the opponent's going to throw energy here, which is even better, because I think they might have been able to farm us down before we got to another move. So, perfect. Gonna bring in Pelipper here, or will I bring in Stunfisk? I have 2 moves ready on the Pelipper, so I'm probably gonna bring in Pelipper, yeah. And look to throw back-to-back Weather Balls. Unfortunately, if he has the move ready, it might be CMP. Yeah, it is, so I have to burn his shields here if I want to keep this Weather Ball, which I'm going to choose to do. It's a Surf. That would have still knocked us out. He brings in Tropius to catch this Weather Ball, which is very unfortunate for us. And now I'm going to look to switch into the Stunfisk here. And Stunfisk versus Tropius, it's a good matchup, but it actually isn't the greatest matchup when we're shield down. So I'm just looking to build the Rock Slides here. This is going to be a really tight match. Him having that shield makes this a lot more difficult, but I'm expecting him to not really have any energy left on the Mew. So I'm going to throw the Rock Slide here. That KOs the Tropius. He's saving the shield for the Mew here. So I'm going to throw the Rock Slide. Unfortunately, CMP. Hoping Surf doesn't KO here. It does not, so I'm going to go off this Rock Slide. This is going to get the last shield, but I do not like the fact that he's going to be able to farm me down here. So I'm hoping my switch timer comes up. I get farmed down. Here comes the Pelipper. We're able to get off that clutch wing attack before he gets to the Surf, and we take that game there. So a good start in this set. Peppermint Sticks 19 here. Another battler that I battled a lot of times, and we see another horrible lead here for Pelipper, this time in form of Altaria. So I'm going to look to catch the Sky Attack, but I think I was a bit too early there, so I didn't catch it. And the opponent is actually choosing to stay in this matchup, so my guess is maybe they don't have something that hard counters Deoxys. Maybe the team is weak to Deoxys. We're about to find out, but we're going to get by the Sky Attack. I really don't want to shield Deoxys here. Even if I lose this matchup, it doesn't really affect Switch too much because my Switch timer should be up by the time this match ends. So you can see I do let the Sky Attack take me out. And now my plan is to bring in Pelipper and probably look to farm down completely. I don't think he'd be able to get to another Sky Attack after throwing 2, but he does. So this Altaria is farming energy out of nowhere, to be honest. I have to shield, but now I can commit to the straight farm down. Brings in Shadow Machamp here. So I'm going to throw Weather Ball here. This is going to get a shield. No, he lets it go through. And I decided to throw it. I could have definitely farmed down a bit more there, got a bit more energy. So I think that might have been a bit of a mistake, but it doesn't really matter too much. Let's see what his third Pokemon is. It's a Victreebel. So this is not great. I'm going to throw the Weather Ball here. Even though this isn't doing much damage, still going to command a shield. And we bring in Stunfisk. So Stunfisk versus Victreebel isn't great, but in the one shield, it is a winning matchup for us. So I'm building for 2 Rock Slides here, hoping that he did not get to the Leaf Blade yet. Looks like he did not. So I get this Rock Slide through. The Razor Leaf came through, but this is going to knock him out, so it shouldn't actually go through. And the Altaria is going to come back in. One Mud Shot's going to farm that down. We take that game. We're off to a 2-0 start. Things are looking very promising. I'm thinking maybe one more win might be enough here, and I got 3 matches to get it. Pelipper into Stunfisk. This is a pretty nice lead, to be honest. Rock Slide hurts, but Weather Ball's hurting just as much, and we see the opponent switch out into their own Pelipper. So I don't really have an amazing counter here, but Deoxys is pretty good against Pelipper, especially after I land the Weather Ball. So I'm going to switch into that, and let's see if they go for the Weather Ball or the Hurricane. They do go for Weather Ball, and now I'm going to get off this Rock Slide here, but you can see I got a little bit greedy, and because of that, they're going to be able to get off another move here. So let's see if they choose to shield now. Facing a little bit of lag, not what you want to see when you are pushing for legend rank. So Rock Slide going to knock it out. And I expect him to come in now. Well, actually it's a Meganium, so this is a big problem for me, because like we said, Meganium poses a pretty big threat to this team. And I think Meganium is one of the best Pokemon in Open Greatly, to be honest. Very underrated. Pretty much beats the Azumarill Stunfisk core very easily, and we could see that Frenzy Plant really hurts. So here comes the Stunfisk. This is a very tricky matchup at this point. Gonna throw the Weather Ball here, gets the shield. I have 2 shields, but I don't really know how I'm gonna get rid of that Meganium, so I choose to let this go, which I think is a mistake here, because the main reason I think it's a mistake is because the opposing Stunfisk cannot farm me down. And this right here is an even bigger mistake, shielding this move when I know it's a Rock Slide. Did not even have enough energy for an Earthquake there. So that was a horrible shield on my part. Now I go for the Earthquake myself here, and they do shield. So at this point, I have to shield now. This could be an Earthquake, especially after the Rock Slide bait, so I do shield. And they bring in Meganium here. Gonna go for this Rock Slide, but this I don't think is going to KO. So things are not looking good. I need to sack the Deoxys, but unfortunately I mistime it. After all those great sack swaps we have seen so far, I mistime it. And if this was an Earthquake, we get knocked out. It is. If it was a Frenzy Plant, maybe we'd have a chance, but Earthquake, no chance there. Well played to the opponent. Tough loss there. BabyLubiMaster here in the 4th match of this set, and we see a Tropius lead. So this is, again, a pretty good lead for Pelipper here. Especially with Air Slash. Razor Leaf would make this a lot worse, but Air Slash is a lot more playable for us. So I do take that Leaf Blade. I'm going to go for the Hurricane. If he shields this, I'm going to switch out immediately into Deoxys. If it goes through, then we stand. He does shield. So I bring in the Deoxys here, and we see a Swampert come in. So I guess it's a good thing that we draw out the Swampert now, because obviously Stunfisk doesn't want to see that in the back. And Deoxys, although it gets pretty much walled by Swampert, it has a decent matchup with an energy lead here. Like, I mean, we're at least going to get into the red, I think. So that's okay. I get the Rock Slide here because of that energy lead. So this will definitely get it into the red here. And now we're going to get knocked out by the next Hydro Cannon. There's no point for me to shield here and try to win switch or anything, because he's going to get to another Hydro Cannon after this before I get to the Rock Slide. So you can see he's already there. So it definitely would have beat me to it. I have to use 2 shields to win switch, and there's really no reason to keep switch in this particular matchup. So I come in with Pelipper here. We see Skarmory come in, and I instantly switch into the Stunfisk here, which maybe was a mistake. I mean, it doesn't really matter because technically Stunfisk should have a good match against both of these Pokemon, but I did shield there, and yeah, this is a tough matchup here because that Skarmory is going to be at full health, and I'm actually taking a lot of damage from these Leaf Blades here. Because he has a shield too, probably going to hit by 1 more Leaf Blade. Yeah, there it is. So this is really tough, and yeah, I didn't throw there because I figured I'd lose CMP anyways, but the thing is I can't farm down, so I'm going to be forced to throw anyways, and I'm actually going to end up losing to a double flyer team here, with a team that actually does very, very well against double flyers, but they did have a Swampert as well, which this team does very, very bad against, so I guess it balances out, but I kind of think I could have played this game a little bit differently. But basically, long story short, we're going to be 2-2 after this game, and I'm not sure if 3-2 is going to be enough to get us to the promised land of legend rank here, but we definitely don't want to go negative either, so we have to win this next game here. You can see this Skarmory had a lot of energy, takes us out. GG's to the opponent, very well played. In their Gucci North Face gear, so you know they're swagging out here. Yerkoski here in the next matchup. We're leading Pelipper into Abomasnow. Horrible lead. Things are not looking good here, so I'm going to just look to farm here. Gonna have to shield up this move, and I might just choose to go like 2 shields to 0 without throwing or something. No, I did throw, so they catch it on the Azumarill, which is again not what I wanted to do, so very good catch on their part. And I'm thinking about what I want to do here. I choose to go for the Hurricane, and I would expect to switch out after throwing this for sure, because I'm about to get knocked out by this Azumarill. So am I going to switch? Wow, I am taking my time. There is the catch. That was very risky, but we are going to catch this onto the Deoxys. Ice Beam comes through, and now because we got that shield back from the Hurricane, I'm in a decent spot now. Thunderbolt's obviously going to be applying a lot of pressure here. This is a manageable game, but that Abomasnow is still going to be a bit of a threat for me once my Deoxys is gone, so things aren't looking too promising here. Here comes the Hydro Pump. Hurts a lot. We have farmed out my Sableye, so I like that he locked himself into Sableye because this is a great matchup for Stunfisk here. So I think what I'm going to do here is build up for the Earthquake and then throw the Rock Slide here. And if I get the shield, then I'm going to go for the Earthquake after that. I believe I'll probably have to use another shield on the Foul Play, of course, but at least we will get rid of this Sableye. But still, that Abomasnow in the back has energy. This is going to be a very difficult matchup here. So I'm going to throw the Earthquake, and this will be enough to knock out the Sableye. And now the Abomasnow will probably come in. It's going to look to knock me out. I was debating switching into Pelipper to throw the Weather Ball right away, but I don't think it would KO anyways. Now it should with that extra Mud Shot damage. And I know the opponent is going to look to switch onto Azumarill as soon as he throws this to catch the Weather Ball. So I don't throw. And I'm going to commit to the farm now knowing that he was going to do this. Now I have the Hurricane ready. This is GG. Going to take this game. We're going to go 3-2. Is this going to be enough to get us to Legend rank? We started this set at 2988. We went 3-2. Usually it's about 12 points, right? So that should put us pretty much at 3,000 exactly. So let's see what we get right here. Can we hit Legend? $29.99. You gotta be kidding. You cannot make this stuff up. Needless to say, I was pretty devastated by that. The tank job feels very likely here because I am like Paul George in the playoffs. I choke when I get this close. So if anything, tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's video because I guess that's going to be the next push for Legend Rank. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.